We were together on Sunday to watch AEW Double or Nothing. I will say probably one of their best pay-per-views so far. Had some surprises.
Lots of surprises, actually.
Including Tony Schiavone bringing up the new show, AEW Rampage, which will debut Friday, August 13th, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on TNT. And he had a special announcement, a special surprise regarding AEW Rampage.
But you may not know that we have a very special analyst that we have signed for this event, for this show. He's also going to be one of the coaches here in AEW. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Here is our newest analyst on TNT and on Rampage, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
He is a Hall of Famer, and what a gift he will be to AEW.
And we are so lucky that very Hall of Famer and gift to AEW joins us now on the Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina Hotline. He is a WWE Hall of Famer. He is the co-host of SiriusXM's Busted Open every day. Does it all for the Busted Open Nation. And a frequent Horn contributor. We're going to give him a show. Mark Henry, we need to have you and me doing, like, I don't know, Longhorn football breakdown or something.
Man, listen, I don't think there's any luck involved in our relationship on the air and off the air. This is you're a friend of mine. You know, I've trusted you over the years, not only to give me the best information about what was going on in the world of football, but also pro wrestling.
It was great to see you come out on the stage there in Jacksonville at Daly's Place. So let's start from the beginning. When did this process start? Who contacted who? How did we end up with Mark Henry as the expert analyst for AEW Rampage?
Man, I've been friends with Tony since they got into wrestling. When he was with the Jaguars, there was always, talk of him starting wrestling, and out of respect for the company that I work for, we just never talked wrestling. I mean, like, never. And then once I was started with Busted Open, and we decided to go to the first Double or Nothing in Vegas, I was on the media row doing interviewing all of the wrestlers. So me coming in, that's when I had to ask Tony wrestling questions for the first time in our existence, and I asked the questions. All of that was really cool. We sat and talked and got to know each other, but I was still working with WWE and I was still working with SiriusXM. So there was no, talk or even remotely. It wasn't even an idea. But about 6 months ago, I spoke with the office at WWE and explained, listen, man, I've been a Swiss Army knife myself over the last, maybe 8 to 12 years. That I wanted to be an employee and I wanted to be to work in office and be an executive. And Vince told me to write it up. Tell me what you feel like your strengths are. Write up some programming that you think would work for WWE. And I did all of that, but the WWE was going through, over the last 3 months, this cleansing phase where they was just like getting rid of dead weight, and they were also trying to recreate what they thought they should be doing in the direction that they should be going in. So, I mean, just recently, 35 people met the axe. So, in my mind, I was like, well, I don't want to be one of those people, even though I'm on a Legends deal. I want to do more. I want to be an employee. And when that was rejected there, then, I had to pivot and say, well, if I'm going to do it, this is the time to do it. And that's when I gave Tony a call when I was told no, because I have to work. I got 2 mouths to feed, one of which
yes, I do.
over there at Lake Travis, and when I say a mouth to feed, that dude right there is about $100 a day job.
Not gonna lie, he did kind of give away the fact that you were possibly going to be there because we were able to spot him in the crowd. But that's because obviously he's just a big kid.
You didn't know nothing. You didn't know.
Well, and I will say,
don't give me that horse wash.
Well, okay. First of all, I did point him out.
You know everything.
He was sounding. He was sitting
nothing
because he was standing there next to Fuego del Sol and some of the others, and I saw that giant behemoth that is a future defensive lineman for the Lake Travis Cavaliers, and I knew who it was. But I figured, okay, he was there because you're there with Busted Open. I didn't think it was. You were joining AEW. It was just you were just there with Dave and the rest of the Busted Open crew. So it was really cool. So let me ask you this: when this became official, what was the reaction from WWE? Because I think you just heard in the clip from the audio from AEW. Obviously, the crowd was really shocked and surprised, and I think part of that was because they figured you were probably going to be with WWE for a very long time. So having you go to AEW was a surprise.
I have been with the WWE for a very long time, 25 years.
Oh yes, I know. I was there when you walked out the very first time in San Antonio. So I understand.
Right. So
but
you know it, and there was multiple reactions. The reaction went to Vince when I told him, and him saying, "Man, I hate to lose you. I really don't want to lose you, but I know you're going to be great over there." Mm-hmm. He's like, "You've done so much." He said, "I don't ever want to feel like I'm holding you back." And I said, "Well, I would like to have done it there, but I've already made up my mind to leave now." And he was like, "Brother, go for it, man. You can do it." He was proud of me for making the move and having the balls to say, "You know what? I'm going to bet on myself." Because I've never had a safety net in my life. Every step that I've ever taken has been on a high wire. It was either fly or fail, and I've had a lot of success. I've flown many times, and now I'm going to be flying for AEW.
Yeah, you definitely are going to be. So, they sent out the press release today. Talking about how you're going to be the expert analyst on AEW Rampage, which is coming up Friday, August 13th on TNT.
Which is one of my jobs.
Yeah, right. That's one of your jobs. You're also going to be talent development. You're going to be a scout, scouting talent. Now, I know you do that right now for SW Fury. Are you going to continue your role with SW Fury, or is this you're going to go all in with forgive the pun. With AEW.
I'm done with SWE.
Okay.
And some of it is misfortune for them because they got Lacey Von Erich down there, and I think she's a wreck and a cancer to their company. But that's me giving my opinion. It's no fact behind it that everybody else hates her or dislikes her or thinks that she's a detriment, but anytime I see something that's possibly dangerous in wrestling, and I'm not meaning with the talent, I'm meaning with the crowd, with the business of professional wrestling. If somebody tries to put a black eye on the business of pro wrestling, they're gonna have a problem with me. I speak my mind. I always have and I always will. That's
for damn sure. You sure do. So you're going to be, as I said, the talent scout for AEW. Is this going to involve? Because I know AEW brings in a lot of independent talent for Dark and Dark Elevation, but is this also going to involve you going out to independent shows? Show up at GCW or AAW in Chicago, or even come down here, to if Inspire gets back going? You come to Inspire, for instance.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. That's one of the tales of the tape. I told you I'm playing the Swiss Army knife role, and that is one of the things I'm going to be doing. I'm a sounding board for creative, and sitting in talking to Tony and figuring out what's going to work and what won't work, and what's worth a try. And so it's a lot that's going on. Community involvement is something that is foreign to them. They're pretty much a new company finding their way. They have found a way to get the young people. Now I'm going to help them find a way to get the old people too.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. We're talking with Hall of Famer Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. Let me ask you this, because we have seen, over the last several months, whether it's with you, Paul White, Christian Cage, and it seems like the veteran, the wisdom that WWE has now found its way to All Elite Wrestling, has found its way to Tony Khan to use. Is that just it's just a matter of timing, or is there something else there?
No, that's timing. That's just the way that it worked out. Guys are at the end of their contracts. There's some guys that want to still wrestle, like Paul White, formerly the Big Show with WWE. Mm-hmm. He wanted to still work, and he didn't want to be retired. He didn't want a Legends deal. Like, he said, listen, I still can go. I still can do this. And if the WWE was not going to use him like that, then he had to go somewhere else. That's just the way it is.
Makes sense. So Paul White wants to get back in the ring. I know it has been said that you feel like you've got at least one more match left. You want to do a retirement match. Could we see that match in AEW, whether it's on Dynamite, Rampage, somewhere under the All Elite Wrestling banner?
Well, definitely. If I'm going to do a match, I'm going to do a match with AEW. I mean, whether it's the first one, the second one, or however many I feel like I got left in me, definitely I'm going to be there.
Man, I would love to see it, because I could just already imagine some of the dream matches against some of that younger talent that you would be going against. It would be so awesome, Stu, wouldn't it?
And on top of that, just like what they did with Cody and Dustin, I'm thinking, hey, we need to see one more round of Paul White and Mark Henry.
Oh, yeah, that'd be sweet.
I don't know. Excuse me, I don't know. But whatever the future holds, believe you me, I'm going to be ready for it.
I know you are.
May I ask, I know you have a lot of roles that you're going to be taking on here with All Elite, but which one really gets you excited about this new journey?
You know what? I think the number one thing that I'm excited about is creating the future. The thing that I've been the best at over the last 15 years is scouting. You look at baseball, you look at football. Mm-hmm. Scouts are able to see somebody and go, oh my God, that guy's got everything except the one thing that he really needs. And I'm not telling nobody, let's sign him. And I'll fix it, and they'll be the best player in the league, or they'll definitely be a Pro Bowler. And that's kind of been my gift. And that gift goes all the way back to Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was the first one I saw in the Indies. And I said, hey, this guy, you need to get him. He's incredible. And I had to lie. And so I told him he was like 6 feet, 200 pounds.
Oh, wow. Man, but you must have really liked him when you saw him to do that.
Oh, I hung my whole career on a lie. Mm-hmm. And I had never done that, and I have not done it since, because I was told, hey, man, just be honest. But I didn't get any problem with it, because he turned out to be one of the best wrestlers that we have in the world today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me ask you this. You see the talent that is in AEW now. And we know the names that always get bantied, whether it's Jungle Boy or Sammy Guevara or those guys. But who do you see?
And you're not going to mention MJF?
Well, MJF and I have this rivalry because he kept ripping off my headsets when he was in Inspire. So I try not to say his name. I have show
All right,
shock.
don't mention it. My bad.
Actually, truth be told, MJF one of the best out there. But what I want to know is who's one of those names that we'll see on Elevation or Dark that you can see the seeds planted, and with the right cultivation, the right motivation and development, you could see them being in that upper tier there in AEW.
I guess first I would have to say Will Hobbs.
Yeah.
I think that Will Hobbs has a future. The guy is hyper talented. He just haven't found his way yet. I think that Serena Deeb she should have been on the show. She should have been on the show. That the pre-show was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you that she was beyond amazing, I just see more for her. And golly, man, I don't know any other way that she's one of my favorites, man.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't agree more.
She's one of those that she works like Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Like her gear change, her shifting from one thing to another is super impressive, and it's just got to find a way to make her more valuable. Golly, I'm sitting here now, and I'm thinking of the whole match through. Mm-hmm. There was not one weak point in that whole match that she had with Rio.
You're right.
So and Rio, I think, is a great talent too that needs to be worked in. The women's division needs a little bit of work, and they have all the tools. It's just like playing chess. How do you get to put somebody in check? And that's what needs more work.
Man, the more you talk about this, it's just like, no doubt the signing is just going to work, because I just love how you're just going through all the intricacies of what could be possible. And you talking about this gets me excited for the future. So I can only imagine once you get to be let loose on AEW to show what we're hearing here, and you get to share that with everybody else that's going to be watching, man, they're going to fall in love with it too.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot for Sean Spears. Sean Spears is one that I've always liked. Mm-hmm. I always thought that he was one of the best talents that they had, and I just felt like he was misused, and or he was underused is probably more appropriate. The stuff that they did with him worked. It's just that it was out of his skill set, and now recognizing that, man, I'm going through everybody over there with a fine-tooth comb to find out like what's strengths and what's weaknesses, and let's accentuate the strengths and get rid of the weaknesses. That's what a scout does. That's what somebody that evaluates talent at a high level does. And man, if I sat here and started telling you all the people that I had influence on, we would be here for a while.
I can only imagine. The one thing that I love is, you're going to be a coach. You're going to be talent development, and the people they have already in that area, whether it's with Dustin and Jerry Lynn and and Christian Cage and Paul White and a lot of those guys. You talk about
Anthony Go-Go.
Yes. Oh yeah. You talk about the wealth of wisdom that you guys have to where those young talents can go up. You know, Chris Jericho, you know, he talked about how people would line up to get his feedback. You look at that lineup of you guys that you guys have forgotten more about wrestling than most people know. And it's just, I can only imagine how rich is going to be for these young up and coming talents to be able to take advantage of that expertise that you're going to provide as well as the rest of them.
You know, another one that's real high at the top of my list is Luchasaurus.
Yeah,
and I see big things for him. The playbook has to change. He's been a zone read player in an all-run offense. Like, now we're going to change the playbook, and he's going to be a force. And those are the things that it takes the experienced eye to see. And you can't just always get by on talent. There's a bunch of people there that's getting by on talent. They just don't have the right plays being called.
right.
Because they're allowed the freedom to do a lot of things on their own. Like, as long as you don't go over time, as long as you don't hurt somebody, good luck to you. Go for it. Do it. But now it's going to be sculpted, and we're going to knock the rust off of stuff, and we're going to polish it up real nice. And people are going to go out there, and people are going to be like, who in the hell is this? And it's going to be the same person that you saw all along.
Yeah. I can see that about Luchasaurus. I've seen him his whole time in AEW, watched him on the Independents, and yeah, he's one of those guys. It always seems like there's just, if he gets this one thing, whatever that thing is, that's going to just skyrocket him. So let me ask you this. I know you're excited for AEW going back on the road, and and just as luck would have it, the first date outside of Florida, right here in our backyard at the HB Center at Cedar Park. How excited are you to now you're going to be a part of AEW Dynamite and everything coming to Cedar Park, being up there and being around the great wrestling fans in Austin and Central Texas?
And I'm going to call on you guys.
Oh, yes.
There's going to be a lot of media. I want to do some community outreach. I'm told you, educational programming. We want to get kids and youth groups to come out. We're going to allot a certain amount of tickets for those young people to come here, and people that have physical ailments and handicaps. We're going to do a lot of that stuff that they haven't been able to do because they haven't had anybody that understood how that worked. So now they do, and we're going to get it done.
And I will bend over back. I'm with NFL alumni. That's
bend over backwards and have to go to the hospital.
Okay, figuratively, yeah. I don't bend much either way. But I'm with NFL alumni. That's what we do. We work with children's charities. We work with those groups, and so I bet you we can find a way to get some connections and work on those. Maybe even pull in some of our former NFL legends like a Raul Legre or one of those guys to help us, kind of get that going. So I think we may be able to work something out. I have a good feeling about it.
I can't wait to talk to you about it. It's right now we got a little time.
Yeah, we do.
So let's talk again next week and try to get some stuff put on the board.
Absolutely. By the way, do you play golf?
I used to play, but I hurt my back like 8 years ago, and golf was like one of the first things I stopped doing.
Well, I just thought about it because we had our NFL alumni golf tournament recently, and I was going, I need to get Mark out here. I know I've seen him with clubs, so I want to. I just want to see.
I'm gonna tell you, Stu. Like 3 years ago at WrestleMania, I won the long drive.
That's right. I remember that.
I hit 286, and I can knock him out there. It just and the next day I could barely walk.
Oh man.
So bad.
Well, I just want to see a foursome with you and Ed Too Tall Jones. That will make my day to see you two knocking the ball around on some golf course here in the Austin area.
Man, I love Ed, man.
I do too.
If you arrange it, man, I tell you what, I'll go ahead and take the pain, man.
All right.
And I'll go hit some with Ed.
All right. Well, we'll have one next year, so I'm gonna keep you in mind. When we start getting ready, I think we might have you as one of the captains at least. So we'll see if we can work that
I'll
out.
drive the cart.
You'll drive the cart. That's right. That's right. You'll drive the cart. I got you. Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. You hear him on every horn show we got, and even Bucky and Aaron, who get lost sometimes. Mark, always a pleasure to talk to you. Congratulations on the new gig. I'm excited for you. I know how much you're looking forward to this. Can't wait to see you helping to shape those young talents there in All Elite Wrestling.
Man, I'm really, really blessed to be in this spot and have the faith of Tony Khan to help mold the people in his company and help push them for the future. So without Tony, bringing me in, we wouldn't have this. I wouldn't have this opportunity. So shout out to Tony too.
Absolutely. Tony Khan, one of our favorites. Thanks, Mark.
All right, man. Y'all be good.